Well, welcome fellow travelers. Your traveling buddy here, coming today from Jackson, Michigan. And I'm out here to visit interesting grave that's out here. Now, a lot of people always hear about hero animals and stuff like that, you know, dogs, you know, like that war dog cemetery we went to, you know. I've heard of cats that have become heroes and stuff like that. But right here at this animal veterinary hospital that's right here, there's a grave, believe it or not, of a famous chicken. It's called Mr. Chicken, and he's considered a hero, and he's buried out here in their garden. So let's go find the grave of the famous Mr. Chicken. So travel with me, will you? Right here, this is the billboard for, this is Crossroads Animal Hospital. And this is where Mr. Chicken is buried at. Said he was brought here a long time ago, and you know, and I'll tell you his story about him. He has a very interesting story. Said he was in Newsweek and a couple other papers. So it's a very interesting story, and I had to come out and pay my respects to the famous Mr. Chicken. And right over here, there's the animal hospital over there. Now, one thing I'll tell you is that I have looked for pictures of the famous Mr. Chicken, and unfortunately, I've only found one picture of him. I even tried to contact the hospital, and they didn't have any pictures of him and stuff like that. I've even tried to contact the vet that actually worked on him, and never got a response. And you know, I was hoping they would find some pictures of Mr. Chicken. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to have any actual big pictures, but I still want to tell his story and visit his grave. Okay, here I am. I just met one of the veterinarians here. They saw me out here. Wonder if there was something wrong, and she told me, so that's cool. She says she didn't work here when Mr. Chicken was here, but she told me where the garden is. It's like right over here, where that sign is. She says there's like a couple rocks, and she told me how to get out there, and they're gonna try and get me more pictures of Mr. Chicken. Now, to start out, I've been back here a little bit, and it's not what they said it was a garden, but I'm seeing a couple areas that might be. There's supposed to be a stone, actual headstone of Mr. Chicken. But I see a bunch of stuff out here. Actually, it almost looks like this used to be an old chicken coop. Kind of right there. But yeah, I was expecting a garden. They said it's out in this area. Sorry about the sound of the traffic. The highway's right there. But I'm not giving up. I'm sure I'll find them. But here we are, guys. Right here is the famous Mr. Chicken. See, they even got a headstone for him. They got a picture of him. 1996 to 1997. The infamous Mr. Chicken, our feathered friend. Now let me tell you the story of the famous Mr. Chicken. It was December 1996. The victim was a rooster. He was left outside in a storm, and his 2 feet were frozen beyond repair. Fortunately for posterity, the rooster was befriended by a local vet, Tim England. Tim named him Mr. Chicken and had a physical therapist make a pair of acrylic legs and feet for the rooster that fit snugly over his stumps. Mr. Chicken became an instant feel-good celebrity. His story was told in Newsweek and in newspapers from South Africa to Hawaii. But only 6 months later, in June 1997, Mr. Chicken was mauled to death probably by a raccoon as he tried to protect the chickens who shared his pen. He died with his plastic legs on, and that was the way he was buried, in the animal hospital's flower garden with a small headstone. He was a famous little guy, Dr. England said. Dr. England still has a file full of letters from people who wrote in to express sympathies for Mr. Chicken. One woman from South Africa even wrote a poem, but he reports, "We had not had a special needs chicken since then." Well, there you are, you guys. There's the story of the famous Mr. Chicken. And it's pretty cool that they actually put a headstone for him. And they even planted flowers. See, there's a flower there. They're cool. I mean, everybody always hears, like I said, sorry about the traffic sound. But, you know, you always hear about Balto, and which, hey, they're heroes, and other animals that would become heroes and stuff like that. But that's pretty cool. He said, even with his prosthetic legs, he tried to defend off a raccoon, and unfortunately he lost. You know, and I'm wondering if that could have been his coop over there, because he said that he lived here, and you know, all that, you know. Said they're gonna try and get me some pictures of him. Hopefully they can, and I could show more pictures. But it was cool. He was in newspapers and all that for the first chicken with prosthetic legs, right here at the Crossroads Animal Hospital. That's pretty cool. You know, it's really cool that somebody actually went to that thing for just a chicken, you know, to save them. You know, I said that goes to show how our winters here. Said that he lost his legs because he was left outside in the winter and froze to the ground, you know, and they had to amputate his legs. I said, at least he got to live a little bit of a life, you know, not very long, 1996 to 1997, you know. Right there, the infamous Mr. Chicken. Well, rest in peace, Mr. Chicken. Rest in peace. You're a hero in my heart. Well, there you go, my fellow travelers. There's the grave of the famous Mr. Chicken. So it's pretty cool, you know, that they honor him. They gave him a gravestone, you know. And he is a hero, to be honest. I mean, that raccoon was probably going to try and kill the other chickens in there, stuff like that, and he defended them off with his prosthetic legs on. And they say he died with his legs on, his prosthetic with plastic legs on. That's pretty cool. That's a brave man. That's a brave chicken right there. Yeah. I mean, he was the roost of the house, you know, and he defended them until his last breath. Right there, Mr. Chicken. Rest in peace, Mr. Chicken. Rest in peace. So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Share me out. Share me out on all your social media. Tell your friends, tell your family about me, so I can continue traveling and showing you and telling these cool stories about animals like this. Also, leave me a comment. Any comments appreciated. Any ideas for me to do? Let me know. I just might show up and do it. So till next time, my fellow travelers, I see you around the mitten.